Hi. Well, I'm just walking up Stanley Street, which is the road which is quite nearby where we live, which is full of restaurants and bars. We're about to pass one now, and you'll see that there's some music playing, so it might get a little bit noisy. But I wanted to talk to you about the Forex markets and also what our plans are. Let's just have a wee pause. You wanna know you've been high when you've been low. So that's what it looks like over there. And I think I'll find a quieter spot. But actually, let's go across the road. It'll be easier. So, yeah, so this is a nonsensical video, really, I suppose. Just thought I'd have a chat. So we're moving from this area. There's the music playing. We're moving from this area simply because of crime, really. And we've been burgled, we've been mugged at knife point. This is a lovely area, as you can see. Once a bustling, still is actually, a bustling and interesting part of Port Elizabeth, where people come to eat and drink and enjoy Saturday afternoons, which it is now. But unfortunately it's been overridden by crime, like many parts of South Africa. So we're moving from here after being mugged, robbed. A car's been vandalized several times. People have been held at gunpoint outside our flat. I've had a knife at my throat, and let's just get into the car before we get robbed. So that's that, really. We're moving to the beachfront, which is probably safer and better. So I want to talk about the markets today and what they did and all that sort of thing. And it's really tricky because one wants to be trading these markets relatively safely, but we've had massive moves in the markets in both directions. Somewhat kind of like a pattern which is associated with bottoming in markets and topping in markets. And we saw on yesterday, a massive move in the dollar yen, with the Japanese authorities and central bank of Japan intervening and buying enormous amounts of yen to try and strengthen their currency and so on. So just keeping an eye out for any vagrants wandering about. So as a result of that, the dollar index dropped, not quite below support. We saw good moves in gold and in stock markets, NASDAQ, S&P, and several important stocks. So where do we go from here? Are we forming a bottom or not? That's the big question, because if you're going to be going long, you're at big peril, of course, with this potentially just being a short squeeze off a very temporary bottom, or it could be a medium-term bottom. I don't think the markets have bottomed quite yet. I think there's still some downside to go in general. Potentially some more dollar strength and some more weakness in NASDAQ, in metals, and some commodities and so on. So where do we go from here? Well, I'm going to be betting on the long side for the markets in general, and that would include gold, stocks, crypto, dare I say, and the euro and the pound and the dollar yen going down. In other words, long the yen, short the dollar yen. So I'm going to be betting on that side, but I'm going to do it cautiously with small positions and with large enough stops to accommodate some pullbacks. Now I'm going to show you on the charts a little bit later on where I think it would be good to be buying euros, buying pounds, selling the dollar yen, buying gold, perhaps even silver, and a couple of key stocks, perhaps, for those of you interested in stocks, although I may not touch on that. Most of you watching this, the very few people that watch this channel, we do have a number of subscribers, but not very many people watch the videos, except for the dog videos, which is interesting. Quite a lot of people watch the dog videos. Those are the shorts that I put up of Peanut doing various things. just watching out here. So go have a look at the shorts. That's my dog Peanut, who's an adopted dog from the Animal Welfare Society. And Peanut gets up to 15-second antics on videos. And one or two of them have had several thousand views, which I think is pretty good for a dog. Much more than I get, except for one of my videos, which is on Japanese candlestick charting techniques, which has had several thousand views. But mostly, not very many people watch this. But that's okay. I do it because it solidifies my thinking, and it helps me to express myself and just talk nonsense, really, in these introductory parts, and have a bit of fun, and then just try and put out, for those few who do watch me, my technical analysis on markets for the forthcoming week. So go and have a look at the dog videos if you don't like anything to do with my market analyses and Forex. Subscribe to this channel whether you only are here for the dogs. Stay for the Forex, but if you just want to be here, if you begin watching just for the dog, that's okay. Let's just have a wee look around. People wandering about. Got to be super careful. So talking about crime in South Africa, well, it's just it's gone out of all control, really, and particularly in the area that I live in, which is Richmond Hill in Port Elizabeth. Sadly, potentially a beautiful Victorian housed building area, stunning restaurants, and not many retail shops, mainly restaurants and a couple of pubs. But well, I can't walk from the house to the street with carrying any technology like my phone or my laptop. So I like to work in the coffee shop, which is, I'll just show you right here in front of us, actually. That's my local cafe, ground floor cafe. And that's where I normally have coffee every morning. And I like to take my phone and my laptop and do a bit of work and just sit around and enjoy that. But I can't walk up here. And I like to walk because walking is good for you. And it gives you some time to think, and it's fresh air, and it's good for the legs and good for the heart, good for the body, good for the soul. So my philosophy is to try and walk whenever I can, even though I do have this little Fiat. Some people have asked me why, as a Forex trader, I have so few things and I live in such a strange part of town. I did have a big house on the beach. It's quite a long story, which perhaps I'll tell, and some of you know it already. But I did have a big house on the beach and lots of cars and motorbikes and things and furniture and possessions and you name it. I now own just about nothing. I've got some good technology, Apple stuff. I've got good Apple computers and sound, telephone. But I've got this little car. It's a Fiat. Nothing wrong with a Fiat. Well, I mean, okay, it's Italian. Italian cars are not the best overall, except for some of the sports cars. But there you go. So I've chosen to live frugally and lightly. I don't have debt. I don't have possessions. And we live in this part of town, which is pretty tricky. But it's now become time to move along. So we're moving to the beachfront, to a flat on the beach. Literally on the beach, so that'll be fun. Just a small flat. There are just two of us, and but we can walk across to the sea with Peanut and just enjoy being in a safer space, a place that we can lock up and go anytime. I can leave my computers out when we go out of the flat on my desk, which I can't do at the moment. That's why I trade quite often from my bedroom on my bed. Because I have to put my computers away whenever we leave the house. So I have to put my computers on the under the bed and hide them away. And I've got decoy computers, which I leave in plain view on the bed and on the couch in the room, open and looking beautiful, but they're not very good ones, and one of them doesn't work, but they're decoys. So if someone breaks in, which is highly likely, they'll find the decoys and hopefully not look for the real stuff, which is, and I shouldn't even be saying this, but damn it, I've let the cat out of the bag now. No, they're not really under the bed. Let me just rephrase that. Wink, wink. All right, so that's that. So we're moving. But now what I want to do is, when I get back to the office, tell you about the markets and what's going on. And what I think we should be doing. Basically, I think we're going to be buying everything except for the US dollar, which is a real turnaround. So I've been selling and buying both sides of the market. I've had a very good month, actually. Fantastic month, but very unclear on direction. And I have not been certain whether we're going up or down. I think the price action, the determination by the Bank of Japan, these are key points. Just remember this. Massive intervention by the Bank of Japan, massively oversold dollar index, which looks like, not yet, but it could potentially this coming week break support and start moving lower. Potential medium to short term bottoming on the stock market. I think we're going to go lower later on, but this is the time of the year, midterm election month, where stock markets tend to rally. So that's all in the favor of stronger currencies apart from the dollar, stronger gold, and a stronger NASDAQ and S&P. So everything's looking quite good. Now, it's still very risky, and I'm not going to put my bottom dollar on it, but I'm going to put my top dollar on it and see where we go from there. So that's that. Now, what I'm going to do is head back to the office and open up the charts and see with you where we're looking, where it looks like the kind of levels, and I've got them in mind already. I've just got to get out of here. I'm sorry. There's a car just in the way there. So I've kind of got the levels ready, and I know where I'm looking to buy euros and pounds and gold and so on. I think we're going to get a bit of a retracement from these highs. Hopefully we will, because that'll give us a better entry and low risk, and with a bit of luck we'll see the dollar starting to break down and stock market start. Oh, and the other thing I have to tell you is that I suspect, and I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but I suspect that we'll see a half point rise next from the Fed instead of 0.75 points percent. So 75 basis points out, I think, and 50 basis points in, which means that they might be slowly starting to think it's time to slow down, rate hike the rate of rate hikes, and therefore start to look to maybe stop rate hikes early next year, and then it'll probably just hold there for a while and we'll see what happens. So all of that also points to potentially a weaker dollar, stronger stock market, stronger metals, and just a generally good time to be had by all. Now, this is just a thought, it's a speculation. I'm often wrong, and it doesn't really matter if you're watching this. You'll be one of the very few who, if I'm completely wrong, get it wrong along with me. It's not going to affect a lot of people, because probably only about 30 people will watch this video. So there you go. Take care. Let's have a look at the charts. And please like and subscribe to this video. Hit the notification bell. Really appreciate your support. And go and watch the shorts with Peanut, the last one, going to fetch a ball in the pond. And the video is called Peanut Shark. I'll speak to you soon.